We're going to kick off with the Pecha Kuchas. Pecha Kuchas, you're going to see 9 people present. They all have 6 minutes and 40 seconds. We know that because we give them 20 slides, and the slide automatically turns every 20 seconds. They're going to be nervous people. They're going to be people who lose their place. Don't worry about it. Everyone goes wrong. But you're going to see a magnificent window into some of the better thinking of this industry. But I now pass on to Alexa because it's her gig.
Thank you so much, Charles. I'm so excited to introduce you to the Pecha Kuchas of the innovation area, because we have some really, really cool things going on that the industry hasn't seen before. And I would like to start with a very, very special man, Bellamy, a designer who's really working with living materials. So be surprised.
The microphone? Yeah, we're going. Good. So this, I'm a biodesigner and researcher and an engineer based in London in the UK. And this is a research project called Lucid Life. It might feel a little bit unconventional for a fair like this. It started out as actually an art project, but has now evolved into something a little bit more meaningful. So my background is, I say, as an engineer. I trained in engineering at the University of Cambridge. I was a metal bashing, plastic molding. That was my bread and butter. But now this is what my world looks like. I'm out in the field, I'm in nature, and I'm really understanding the potential of the natural world that's around us. And about 5 years ago, I did this life cycle analysis of my entire career. And I realized that as a designer, I'd been responsible for designing about 75 lifetimes worth of CO2. So I thought, what can I do about this? And the issue was that I was creating these kind of products. I was working on the concept engineering here of Jaguar's first ever electric car. And while it was incredibly optimized, what we hadn't done was really rethink the solution. So this had the same impact really as a normal diesel car after all of the amazing innovation that we'd done. And so for me, I landed on this thought experiment of, what if humans were trying to design a tree? What if an engineer tried to create a tree? And I realized that we designed something with kind of trusses and levers and arms and water pumps and solar panels. And it kind of came to me that we could never design anything as elegant or beautiful as a tree. And so I searched for living things as my inspiration. Living things are the only thing in the world that can defy entropy. Entropy is this constant degradation of our society. And entropy is anything which goes against that equilibrium. And so living things are this remarkable materiality. And within living things, there are the living things that we know about, but there's also living things we don't know about. And this is called biological dark matter. So for every one organism that we do know, so every tree, every E. coli, every mushroom, there are 100,000 organisms that we do not know. And so I went to a very special place in the world. It's called French Polynesia, and it's actually a real hub for people researching new and novel and weird and wonderful microorganisms, because it's very different, it's very diverse, there aren't a lot of people there. So I went out to these islands, and I found these amazing organisms. And we started to look at how can we work with these microorganisms. And we started to play with, okay, what if we were to take these tiny little organisms and were to encapsulate them into a form that we could use? And so what you're seeing here on the screen are the kind of the processes that we use to capture these little living organisms. And what makes these living organisms so special? Well, the first thing is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is this incredible process where something can be powered only by the sun. Bacteria in our world actually produce 27 times more CO2 than humans do. And so, while something's biological, it might not be the best answer. The other thing with biology is you hear a lot of people talking about mycelium leathers, which are amazing, and biomaterials are fantastic. But it's not about the what, it's more about the how. You can make a biomaterial in a very, very bad way. Whereas, living organisms, they kind of assign themselves to be more distributed. The other thing about living things is they can create this feeling of the sublime. When you connect with a living organism, you can really feel a deep connection with it, you can understand it, and start to change the relationship between a consumer and the natural world. So this is the material that we developed. It's encapsulated a bioluminescent algae, and what you can see here is that it's actually breathing, and those little bubbles are as the algae are respiring inside this material. It's alive. Currently, the samples have lived lasting for 9 months. They'll probably last for longer. And this material was very much inspired by coral. So you might have heard that coral lives symbiotically with an algae. So on the outside of the coral you can see here, the color is from tiny little algae that are living in the surface of that coral, and they're giving it energy in return for having a nice place to live. So with my collaborators in French Polynesia, one of them said, well, what if I was a human coral? What if I could have algae on my skin that I live symbiotically with? And so that's what inspired us to create this swimsuit. So we took our material with the bioluminescent algae captured in it, and we transformed it into this swimsuit that you can see here. And it illuminates in response to touch. But we didn't stop there in terms of the biological inspiration. These patterns might seem very familiar. They look very natural, and it's because it's how proteins and natural chemicals form in nature. So we wrote an algorithm that simulated that. And so any of the designs that we created were transformed into this biological language. But actually, does the world need glowing materials? Probably not. But when you look at living materials, you look at something like a fish skin, which is slimy, it's slippy, it's really fast through the water. And then you look at our global shipping industry, which emissions are increased by 30% or more every year because of all of the nasty things that stick to the hull of a boat. But ultimately, with this project, we have to be really careful because a living thing has genetic sovereignty. If we were exploited and if we were wrapped into a factory somewhere without our permission, that wouldn't be very ethical. And there's nothing different between us and a small living organism. It's still a living thing, and we still need to think about the ethics of how we might use a living thing. And here you can see some of the imagery showing the material. So the material responds to touch. It illuminates to touch. These are the little microalgae that are lighting up as soon as someone's hand touches it. And this project is really now to explore, what is this potential of living materials? How can we, really embrace the fact that we're alive? And how can we embrace this really beautiful state of livingness, which defies entropy, which defies the degradation of our world and starts to push against that equilibrium? And that was what I'd really challenge you to think about. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Chris. That was amazing. I'm so stunned by this, what you created and what you found out. Thank you so much. So, as the next one, I would like to introduce a company called Fiber 52. And the speaker, Graham Stewart, is actually the inventor and the founder of Fiber 52. So, enjoy. Microphone, please. Headphones.
Thank you, Alexa. Good afternoon, everybody. Cotton is the most widely used natural fiber in textiles. Fiber 52 strives to keep cotton natural by using biochemistry instead of the harsh chemistry that's used normally these days. This is our people around the world. We're a small and mighty team. We have people all over the globe. We're a staff of about 20 people now. We're taking action around the world as we know that dyeing and finishing is a large contributor. As you can see there, 36% around of emissions in textiles. We offer immediate positive impact, and we offer a drop-in solution, which means you don't need to have new machinery or capital expenditure. We reduce emissions in Scope 1. You can see that we're reducing the amount of fuel being used in combustion. We use much lower temperatures in processing, and therefore much lower inputs are required. As stated earlier, we offer instant positive environmental impact, and keeping it real, we have to be cost neutral. Our biochemistry solution does not cost more than traditional, non-sustainable chemistry. We're removing caustic soda in cellulosic fiber processing. It's a fundamental change. There's no restriction in the shades that you can get. You can go from white to black and back to white and every shade in between. It works with all cellulosics. There's no restriction which fibers can be used. Particularly if we look at regenerated cellulosics, it's very gentle, and also recycled cotton and cellulosics, in that it doesn't damage the fibers as much as traditional processing with our biochemistry. People say we've seen this before, it's bioscouring. It's not bioscouring because bioscouring doesn't bleach. We're not a catanized process. You don't need surfactants. We eliminate caustic soda. You don't need soaps or detergents. Our process is new, commercially patented. In process bleach and dyeing, not much has changed over the last 4 to 5 decades. So we aim to bring sustainable change. Here's our process comparison. Fiber 52 there on the left with its small footprint in bleach and prepare for dye. And in conventional process, you see it's a much longer process. And we use lower temperatures, much less time, and much less water. The mill gets a benefit in that it's got process savings and a much smaller carbon footprint. The brands benefit by showing solid, sustainable facts and figures. The consumer and end user knows that it's more durable, natural, and more sustainable. The numbers in process saving and CO2 emissions are considerable. Process throughputs are increased, and we offer the opportunity to produce safer, less toxic effluents, and we offer the user the benefit to benefit the environment. The T-shirt market numbers, these are huge. This is just T-shirts. Nearly 52 billion are produced. That's a big deal globally. Not to mention all the other apparel and home textile goods that are produced from cotton and blends. Other factors, our natural fiber, our natural process is much more rapid than normal, much quicker. It's less damaging, and it doesn't damage the dye sites. So we get sometimes a big saving in dye stuff, which is a big cost. On the left-hand side here, you'll see polyester in this heat flux test. Shows the polyester cools down quick, then saturates. Same with cotton. With fiber 52, we have constant comfort, if you see that graph across the bottom there. It's a tunable technology in that you can have a hydrophobic finish or a hydrophilic finish. So if you want a hydrophobic one, helps in sport. If you're doing towels, you can have a hydrophilic that's very absorbent. This gentle, low temperature process means that with the less fiber damage, that you have a much stronger fabric or fiber in the end, which in this case showing you the burst strength, but it's a much more durable fiber and fabric that's produced. We use lower temperatures. We don't use caustic soda. I mean, the weight loss is something that's significant because that can be a huge cost. And as I've already mentioned, the color yield is also a huge cost in dyeing and finishing. And here, looking at the savings in T-shirts, I mentioned earlier that $52 billion market. This is a big deal. Imagine 1 billion T-shirts with a big 5 to 8% CO2 reduction. So we at Fiber 52 would love to work with you. And working with you, we'd like to make a real impact on a positive impact on the environment. Visit us at fiber52.com, and even better, come and contact us here tomorrow and maybe have a drink with you afterwards. But thank you.
Thank you, Graham. Amazing.
Thank you.
So second Pecha Kucha has passed, so I'm very excited to now present the company Planalto, and it's Johanna Damm, who is actually a permaculture practitioner. So enjoy.
Hello, thank you very much for being here. Thank you, Alexa, for the opportunity. I'm going to present Planalto, and you might be looking at this thinking, oh, is this a nicely printed fabric, or what am I seeing? Or you might be thinking, is this trees I'm seeing? And you're right, it's trees you're seeing. Planalto is a reforestation project. We are based in Mexico. There you can see the yellow star at the bottom. We work on just over 1,000 hectares with 40 employees, and we started this project in 2013. And now you're still thinking, okay, but what is this reforestation thing doing here at a fabric fair? So wait for the next slide, and you can see that the answer is trees. It's logwood. Logwood is the keystone species in our reforestation project, and it's the resource for a natural dye, hematoxylene or logwood. It's a very important dye in history, and we are reviving it. So, waiting for the slide to change. Here's our company. So our activities are eco-forestry. We trade CO2 emission certificates and increase biodiversity. The dye stuff we extract in Mexico City, and we develop the market here in Germany. We're a social enterprise, and you're going to see a little bit more about that later on. So contextualizing, textile dyeing is the second largest cause of global water pollution. That's a big challenge. And aniline is toxic and considered to be carcinogenic. Aniline is the dye that produces a lot of the black clothes that we can find. So why am I picking up on aniline? Because it's black, and logwood, when the Spanish discovered it in Mexico in the 16th century, they were amazed because suddenly they could achieve black cheaply. So you can see different shades here of that we can achieve with logwood depending on the mordant. There are some more shades, from gray to dark blue. So when we talk about logwood, we're talking about an approved dye. We can replace aniline. There are a range of colors and shades possible, and the production brings other benefits. And those I'm going to show you now in the next few slides. So here you see our model. The prime resource that we need is the sun, because as we already heard, the sun makes trees engage in photosynthesis, so they get big. From the biomass, we extract the dye stuff. Then we have biomass left over, which we use in pyrolysis, produce biochar, and put that back into the soil. So it's a circular model. There is no waste. When you call me to order logwood dye stuff, I put the call through to the tree nursery. When you call a chemical company to order aniline, you're asking for more oil to be dragged out of the ground. That's the difference. So the benefits is that we have planted in the last 10 years over 1 million trees, which are removing carbon. The biodiversity is moving in, such as this beautiful jaguar. We produce logwood, and we have created meaningful work. So why does this make sense? Over 100 fashion companies have signed the UN Fashion Charter to decarbonize by 2050. And how do you decarbonize? Well, this is a nature-based model. The trees are dragging the CO2 out of the air. So on the left, you can see the trees age 3 months, and on the right, age 6 months. And then here, This is what we start with: degraded grazing land, and 5 years later we have reforested land. And this fits very nicely, this renewable resource, when the natural dyes market is projected to grow to 5.4 billion US dollars by the end of the decade. We've done some back-of-the-envelope calculations. So when we dye 10,000 T-shirts with logwood dye, it means we can reforest a football field of jungle. So that's why we call it carbon-negative dye stuff. On this image, you can see a primary school that we started in 2020. So this idea of a different environmental consciousness, we're bringing it right down to the future generations. There are some of the SDGs that we impact on. And the last one, life below water, is because our area is a wetland system, which is an important biodiversity hotspot and carbon sink. So our innovation is not the dye stuff. It's old. It's been there. In the 19th century, 30,000 tons were exported yearly. In fact, it's an important cultural heritage which we are reviving. And the innovation is the circularity that I already talked about. So in terms of the ESG, you have a decreased carbon footprint, a sustainable supply chain, and environmental claims. But also in terms of product safety, with logwood, we can really talk about healthy fashion and eco-textiles. And we can really change those standards. So we're talking about production without destruction. These trees are giving a home to these animals, but they're also providing a resource that people can have meaningful work with. So that way, reforestation becomes an opportunity that's economically viable. Now, this was last week. The CNN were talking about the global water cycle off balance. So really, it's high time that we change something about the way we do things. Gosh, 20 seconds is a long time. For those of us who don't know crocodile, she's saying, why? So why don't we do this? If we know how to do this, then why don't we do this? John DeLue said this. He is the Ecosystem Restoration Communities founder. So I hope that you're going to come and see me today or tomorrow in IN25. I would love to speak to you if you're a designer and you want to see some more of the shades that we have. If you're in the sustainability part of your company, let's talk about how you can be part of this project and reforest with us. Or if you're a researcher, there are some amazing characteristics that hematoxylin has that I can tell you about. Thank you very much, and see you around.
Thank you, Johanna. You're really, really re-establishing my hope for circularity and what you're doing good. We are switching to something completely different now. The company is called Twine X4, and I'm happy to introduce you to Nir Dwyer as a living the digital printing world.
Thank you. So hello, I'm Nir. I say I'm always near you, and here, and I'm very glad to be here, talking the 20-second speech. We were talking about digital, and we say that everything that can be digital will be digital, and textile is no exception. So, thread and yarn. Each one of you is carrying with him thread and yarn in your shoes, in your trousers. In my shirt, there are different colors of threads and yarn the designer are really picky about. So, what is it all about? It is about the stock of threads and yarn that you see here, and this is a small part of the stock. What is happening if you don't find the right thread or the right color at the stock? What do? You call immediately to your supplier and ask, hey, I need this thread and I need this color, I need to produce quick, I'm in the fast fashion. And he say, no problem, we will do it. I just put a number as 4, it can be 8 weeks, but it can also be 4 days because of the transportation, because of the extra delivery time. And what is happening in those 4 days, he will produce for you, for sure, minimum order quantity of 4 kilograms and will waste 240 liters of water. I'm not the first one to talk about water here, and we say H2O. And before someone already said it, the textile dyeing is the second largest polluter of water globally. And the question is if we can do something against it. And we say yes, we can just push the button. Imagine you have a magic door, you push the button and you get the amount of thread or yarn that you have in the right color that you want, in the right quantity. No waste, just the amount that you want. And this is what we are going to talk about here. Instead of 4 weeks, maybe 4 minutes, just to get a few hundreds of meters dyed. No minimum order quantity and no water wasted. 0 water wasted. How do we do it? We take white yarn, we run it through a preheated chamber, we dye it, it's going through a dye sublimation process, and by the end of the process, we are adding a lubricant to allow a smooth process of sewing or anything that you do with the thread. When I talk about dyeing, we have to make sure that the dyes will penetrate into the thread. And this is the challenge, and we are enabling a very good rubbing test with our technology. We talk about 2 twine solutions. The first one is X1. X1 is a machine that is working from one bobbin to one bobbin, designed for sampling or small orders. Can generate 9,000 meters in an hour, or if you need a faster production, you talk about X4, which we are working from 4 bobbins to 4 bobbins at the same color, and we talk about small to medium production of thread and yarn. Our material, or maybe part of the things that you are wearing already, is already in the market, very strong with Coats as a partner, but also Inditex, Zara, that is utilizing twine, or Unlu in Turkey, that is a fulfiller, but you can see also many other brands. This is one of the most important slides. It represents 591 different colors that were done by one of our customers. The long runs, the big squares, are not the main problem. The main problem are the small ones. So for one small sample, you need to work exactly as hard for hard samples. But is it only for sampling? No. You can make 4,500 shirts a day, or 9,000 socks logo a day, or maybe if we talk about ribbons, we talk about 1,000 meters of a ribbon for a day. So not only for sampling. Just to summarize, we talk about time and space saving. Instead of those huge stocks of threads that you have in your production, just have a twine in front of the door, print or dye whatever you need, and save. If we talk about the impact on the sustainability, not only that you are using 0 water, no transportation, no need FedEx, UPH, DHL, whoever, to transfer your thread from one side of the globe to the other side of the globe, and this is a huge impact. When I said at the beginning that digital printing will penetrate also into the textile market, we talk here about special effects that are not possible to be done with conventional method. And here we talk about melange and gradients that are digitally done with one thread. And again, to finish, I will say that the best time to plant an avocado tree was 7 years ago, because only then you get fruits. And the second best time to plant an avocado tree is now. This is the best time to invest in digital for the textile industry. For sure you know the song that every thread you take, every move you make, I will not be watching you, but I will be very happy if you will come to see us at the Innovation 26. Thank you very much.
In your hands it binds, crafting life so bright, unfolds in your sight.
Thank you very much, Nir. That was eye-opening for me for threads.
Thank you much.
Hopefully, please go and join Nir. Oh, I'm sorry. Please go and join Nir at his booth on 26. So, I'm very excited to introduce you to Michael Wegli from Livinguard Technologies. He's the head of industrial applications. So,
thank you very much. All right, thank you very much. I'm here to present Livinguard AO, which is a game-changing odor control solution that provides non-stop, lasting, sustainable freshness. As already introduced, my name is Michael Wegli. I'm the head of industrial applications at Livinguard. Let's start with a little bit something about us. Livinguard is a Swiss material science company that focuses on enhancing the functionality and performance of different materials across a broad range of applications through a permanent positive chemical surface charge. Let's start with the challenge that we're here to solve. Over 90% of people admit that odor reduces their confidence when they are in a social setting. However, we live in a smelly world. We ourselves, we produce odor day in and day out, and also our environments are smelly. All those odors, they start to accumulate in the textile, and they get smellier and smellier and smellier. When we wash them, they are fresh again. But especially on synthetic fibers, that odor actually starts to accumulate up to the point where the textile develops what we call permastink. It basically already smells coming fresh from the laundry machine. That leads to excessive washing, which consumes a lot of water, consumes a lot of energy. It discharges microplastics as well as wastewater into the environment. It accelerates the wear and tear on our dear clothes. Ultimately, it leads to the early disposal of our garments. Now imagine there would be a technology that would allow you to wear this feeling of a crisp, fresh morning the whole day, even after a strenuous workout, after skiing for a whole day, or climbing a mountain. I can formally hear your thoughts now. Yet another odor control technology? Just look around. There's so many of those around here, from antimicrobial technologies, odor capture technologies, odor masking technologies. How is this new? Why did they even invite these guys to this stage? Well, let me talk a little bit something about how Livinguard AO works. As I mentioned before, we empower textiles with a permanent positive charge. This actually allows for a game-changing and truly unique odor neutralization mechanism. Let's see how this works in detail. Electrostatic attraction absorbs odor molecules. They are then neutralized on the surface, and when we wash the clothes, the residue of that odor molecules is released again, and the surface is completely fresh again for action. That makes this technology extremely durable. When we think about all those other odor control alternatives, they come with one or many of those different disadvantages. In short, they're either ineffective, they're extremely expensive, or they're not really safe for the consumers and the environment. We believe that we have solved this challenge. We have observed not incrementally better odor control performance, but an absolute step change. We have benchmarked our technology against the state of the art, and we have observed up to 4 times better odor control versus those alternatives. We managed to achieve this performance with a completely biocide and heavy metal-free formulation. which makes it much safer for the environment as well as the consumer that wears it. For you as a brand, it also makes it way, way, way easier to deal with because you don't need to think about complying with all different kinds of regulations. Our solution is extremely cost-effective and can be applied as a finishing across all different kinds of substrates, ranging from cotton to polyester, where it is exceptionally effective. As I mentioned before, our technology doesn't leach out, so it never leaves the textile, which makes it extremely durable. We have put that to the test and actually conducted up to 100 times household washings, and we have seen consistent performance throughout. For example, we observed over 95% odor reduction even after 30 washes, as per ISO 17299-3, which is the industry standard to test for the deodorant properties of textiles. So needless to say, our technology actually has the potential to outlive the garment that is applied to. This technology obviously can be applied across a broad range of different applications, ranging from everyday apparel, sportswear, outdoor wear, uniforms, applications in the home, up to reusable personal hygiene products. We believe that such a differentiated odor control technology actually has the opportunity to drive sustainable impact for your brand, because you can command a premium product price for a truly differentiated product and increase customer satisfaction and build brand equity in the process. It is definitely time to future-proof your odor control technology today with a more sustainable, more performant, more durable and safer alternative, and cut a slice out of the massive $1.3 billion market opportunity for odor-controlled textiles. I hope I made you curious about this unique opportunity to expand your bottom line, protect the environment and your consumers' health with a truly distinguished odor control solution. Please come and visit us tomorrow. We're exhibiting in this hall in booth IN22. And with that, thank you very, very much for the time here and your interest. I wish you all a great rest of the fair.
Thank you, Michel. Fantastic presentation. I mean, what do we need if we want to wear more and wash less? It's odor control and good thermal regulations. This is what we need. So I would like to introduce you to Luna Aslan from Noosa. She's the CEO of Noosa, and please hear what she has to say.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. My name is Luna Aslan. I'm the co-founder of Noosa. Thank you for the introduction. So today I'll be explaining a bit more about a bio-renewable textile fiber that we put on the market and its recycling technology that we've developed. So if any of you are familiar with PLA, this is the raw material we use. We've started this project in 2020 in Belgium, where our headquarters is based, and the team. This is on top of our production partners worldwide with a production capacity of 3,000 tons a year, meaning that our technology is available on the market. So the idea behind Noosa was born on the observation of the textile industry that you all know here, but mainly from the fact that there's a huge textile waste with barely no solution to recycle it, and from the fact that we're still dependent at 70% on petrochemical materials. So based on that, we thought, okay, how can we transform those challenges into opportunities for organization willing, for asking for more sustainability, to find alternatives to petrochemical without endangering performance, and also at reducing waste from eco-design to revalorization at the end of the line. Being fully transparent and traceable during the whole chain, and also complying with the fastest evolving legal framework in Europe, meaning European legislation, basically, at cutting waste and pushing for circularity. So based on that, we developed Noosa, a biorenewable textile fiber that we make endlessly recyclable, showing optimal performance and comfort with one of the lowest environmental impacts compared to other fiber, and with our NEOLAST technology that is unique. So those are the 3 products we offer today, going from staple fiber to filament and spun yarn and different type of details based on your application and blends you would like to perform. And I'm happy also to introduce today that we're now able also to provide fabric and finished products directly to brands. With at least a minimum of 50% Noosa. So those are materials with different types of grammage, structures, blends, different type of dyes, and products that we can directly provide you. So how do we do that? We start from sugar coming from GMO-free crops that is then transformed, fermented, into a fiber and yarns that we sell directly to the industry that will transform it into a textile product where we can already gather the pre-consumer waste and recycle it. And then the product can enter its user life cycle, and as Noosa, we guarantee that it will be fully recycled into a virgin quality fiber at the end of life without deterioration, thanks to NEOLAST technology. So our technology is unique because we are able to recycle it at 100% and separate any component from our fiber. So any pigment, any glue, any dye, we can just isolate it to only recover our fiber back. And our process is fully FDA approved, meaning that you can drink the solvents and that nothing will happen. So this is an example of one of our customers who developed a rugby socks. You have the before and after. The composition is 90% Noosa and 10% elastane. And this is what you could see after the recycling. So there's only the elastane skeleton that is left. So on top of being 100% recyclable and 100% bio-based, we also show that our environmental impact is one of the lowest compared to traditional materials on the market. And we have an impact that is 50% lower than conventional cotton that we can detail as well. And so another important thing is microplastics. So our fiber, our material, of course, emits microfiber as any material, but we show that the microfiber are non-persistent and actually digested by the body, meaning that there's no accumulation of our material in the environment. And last but not least, our fiber shows intrinsic properties particularly interesting for sportswear applications such as stability to UV, low flammability. It is hyperallergenic, so it has a pH really close to your skin, what makes it very comfortable to wear. And also it shows low odor retention thanks to its very good breathability. And also it is bacteriostatic, meaning that it will avoid the proliferation of bacteria on a product, also making it great for everything that is more like sweat activities. And so this gives birth to a lot of different applications. So of course the apparel industry with a focus on sportswear, because this is also where people are ready to kill to find alternatives to petrochemicals basically. The workwear industry, where you can already find closed loops because you replace very often the items, the uniforms. And also, that is less important here, but everything that is upholstery or underwear, loungewear, because it's in very close contact with the skin, and we show that our material is very comfortable and soft. And lastly, more technical things such as industrial textile. So if you're willing to push circularity within your company or develop maybe the fast, fully circular activewear, make sure to visit our booth. And we can also create some business case together to have a product that is fully recyclable and circular. So thank you for your attention. You can find us in the innovator area at IN15. And have a nice evening. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Luna. Thank you for contributing to more circularity. I would like to now introduce you to Danilo Sato from Celanese, and he's the application developer and engineer, and talking about a new elastane fiber called NEOLAST.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Alexa, for the opportunity. It's great to be here today. I'm representing the NEOLAST business team. I'm actually talking to replace Federica today. So my name is Danilo Sato. I'm based in our Celanese Technical Center in Geneva, Switzerland. And today I'm happy to talk about NEOLAST. So Celanese is a global leader in engineered polymers business. So we have more than 20 different polymer families, and we are leading in most of them. And we partner with our customers and brands to develop new materials to address the market needs. And just earlier this year, we launched this new product in our business called the NEOLAST. And we are trying to address the stretch technology that's needed for sustainable performance fabrics. So we try to combine these elastic yarns to bring the stretch that's needed to design and develop high-performance garments. This is our brand. They all represent the stretch at the heart of our technology and the circularity at the core of our sustainability aspiration. Since the beginning, when we developed this, we can see here this quick video. So we always try to address the challenge that we are all facing today, right? So we, based on the demand of our customer, we developed this new product to help and to give an alternative solution in terms of recyclability and circularity for these high-performance elastic yarns. So Celanese, we are raw material supplier. We developed the chemistry of this polymer to help to address this challenge. So we work with spinning partners or customers that will actually produce the yarns and sell these NEOLAST yarns into the market. And in terms of application, NEOLAST can be used in a wide range of different applications for both knitted or woven techniques, and can be incorporated into different yarn types, including polyester, but also polyamide, cottons, or any other type of yarn. And in terms of applications, we first developed for sportswear, but NEOLAST can be used for different applications, including outdoor, activewear, athlete leisure, casual, swimwear, or intimates, for example. And why? What are the benefits of NEOLAST? So if we look at the sustainability aspects, NEOLAST is a solvent-free spinning material. So we can produce NEOLAST yarns using melt extrusion spinning process. So just the manufacturing process itself is better for the environment. And also, we unlock the recycling potential. We are polyester-based material and can be recycled and improve circular economy when combined with existing polyester recycling technologies. On the performance side, also, we have this unique material that combine the stretch, recovery, and compression. So this is how we always look at NEOLAST, how to address sustainability without compromise on performance. On top of that, we also have a faster moisture wicking, and that gives to the garment a very nice touch and feel and visual aspect as well. So we have this team based worldwide, like in different regions, to support in all the steps of the value chain. This is very complex value chain, so we sell raw material We work with the spinning partners, and we also have the technical team and specialists on the knitting to support the mills and also develop with the brands. So we have the whole team here, actually. So please feel free to join us and talk more about NEOLAST. Right now, we are also working to publish this third-party review life cycle analysis based on Riga Index. We have our internal data, and now we are working also with these external partners to bring additional clarity to our customers so we can actually do the right evaluation. And the same for recyclability. We are working right now with different recycling companies on both thermomechanical and chemical recycling to evaluate the performance of NEOLAST using existing techniques. Just a few months ago, we launched the first commercial application with Under Armour. So we have here the T-shirt. If you come to see us, you can actually see. So this is using 20% NEOLAST yarns combined with polyester. So you can see this power stretch that was actually the goal when Under Armour developed NEOLAST products, using NEOLAST products in these garments. We have now several projects ongoing with different yarns and different partners, and we believe that we have a great opportunity working with you, working with the specialists to unlock this recycling potential using NEOLAST in combination with any yarn, and also to support actually the brands to close the loop and really talk about circular economy. So thank you very much, and we are here on the Innovation Forum, IN16. We'll be happy to talk to you and continue the discussion about how we can help our partners to develop more sustainable garments. Thank you.
Thank you, Danilo. It's so important to make stretch fibers more sustainable. Thank you for your work. We have 2 more to go, so I would like to introduce you to Jerzy Kucharko. He is the CEO, founder, and inventor of wowpoc, a very new way for a pocket.
All right, thank you, Alexa. Okay, you can hear me, you got it right. So you see this pretty girl here, and what is it all about? The name of our product, our solution, self-closing pocket. This is where we start today. I just wanted to ask you, just check if nothing fell out of your pocket now. So, as Alexa said, we are a startup company. We are from Austria. My name is Jerzy. Around 4 years ago, I had a very special experience during ski vacation with my kids. So I started very intensively thinking about how I can make pockets more trustworthy. So the point is here, you may have your own experiences. I guess, I know if you can show whoever lost something out of his or her pocket. No, guys? No, nobody's listening. Okay, that's good. So, but I'm still looking for those people. Now, in history, just like the time we invented the pockets, we also started to lose stuff out of their pockets. So, and this is, there are some very special events, and there are personal events. We lose everything. We just drop phones, they get broken. We lose all possible stuff. And there are some special events in history. When you look at Napoleon, I don't know if you know that, the guy lost, among other issues, one of the reasons was that he lost his battle because one of his guys who was just like carrying a dispatch to a general chasing Germans, he lost that on his way. So, this is what happens to us too. We have our phones in the gym, it falls out, it breaks. You forget your AirPods on your train, your smart wallets, whatever it is, just piping stuff. And we wanted to figure out more about what is it all about, how big the problem is. So we created a small survey which showed that 86% of population, already experienced that, and we're still looking for the 4%. So you're not the average. What I saw here with your hands, and the more interesting figure was that 80% of those people had lost something. They had whatever type of closure means, just like buttons, zippers, Velcros, and they still lost it. So what's the problem? So as you may guess, it's not the closure means, but us forgetting about using them. So we forgot to close the zipper, we forgot to close the button, whatever it is, right? So during the survey, we got some really astonishing responses, or just stories. And when you look at our next slide here, this is a true story. A girl sent us a message saying that she lost her 14K golden ring because she took it off in order to help her husband doing some work at home. And she put that into a jacket and never found it again. So it was a really crashing experience to her. That's a true story. Other people send us messages saying that they lost the tickets, smaller, not that important stuff, but it can be your phone, it can be your key, it can be your car key, whatever it is. And we have also our personal experiences. There is our designer standing just right in the middle here. She has her personal story. She lost 2 phones within a couple of weeks. Just like the first one she left on Uber, just sitting in the car, the phone fell out. And the other one got stolen out of her bag in the shop while she was paying for some shopping, right? That was the thing. So, it is, it may sound as a small problem, but this is a universal big problem. We really have a trouble with this because we forget. That's a human nature. And we got stressed. We got, into a hustle many times during the day. And our lives got really faster and faster. We need to think about 100 things. We have our phones, we got distracted, but we're losing stuff out of our pockets. So we came up with an idea here, how we can just close this gap. What can we do about this? So we were thinking about, okay, well, let's do the pocket automatically closing. So we thought, okay, that's a great thing. Okay, there is a simple solution, 100% textile, no magnets, no other stuff here. So you can use it as a brand. You can integrate it in whatever kind of pocket you like, okay? You just got to check it out, whatever. And there is also a last figure I would like to show you. 87% of people, respondents from our survey, they said, okay, I would love to have it. I have to have it. Where can I buy it, right? So people wanted to know that for you, just for brands, that there is a market potential for you using our technology. So just go for it, I would say. What kind of applications? As I said, whatever kind of pocket you would like to use for this technology. It works great for tops, buttons, even for bags. Just looking at the ladies here in the room, yeah. And also backpacks, right? So, and if you look at the range of applications, you have all kinds of sports, business wear, hiking gear, outdoor kids wear. Even some tracksuits for elderly people. There's a huge potential for that. For golfer pant, golfer jackets, whatever. Right? Whatever you have a bit more movement. Commuting, biking, whatever. Right? So it may be as I said, this story about Napoleon. It may be too late for him, obviously, but not for you or your customers. So please reach out and contact us. We're when I get it right. INO7. We're here today and tomorrow, the whole day. So I'm looking forward to having you stand. But that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerzy. You make it really interesting. The mystery of the wowpoc. So please go and see the company. Last and very interesting, and something the market is needing and is desperately waiting for. I would like to introduce you, Kristianson, inventor, co-founder of Portia. He will talk to you now.
Is it on? So, okay, thank you. Hi, I'm Kristianson. I'm the co-founder of Portia. And today I'll present to you Portia, that is a fashion business software designed to lead brands into circularity. And we come from Sweden, Stockholm. And Portia is a cloud-based solution. It's for brands to create responsible products, and it's with integrated processes, it's with project management, product management, we have digital product passports and customer feedback, and our mission is to make the fashion industry circular from the inside out. And we work with hundreds of brands through our design agency and our online educational platform, so we've seen what brands struggle with and what kind of problems they have. So we've taken this together with our experience and created a solution to solve these problems. And the problems we see, the bigger ones, are the environmental cost of pollution, supply chain inefficiencies, the upcoming EU legislation to solve with DPP, and also operational inefficiencies. So these can cost business up to 20 to 30% per year because they're not efficient enough. So we see that the brands, they don't have clear processes for how they should work. They don't have full supply chain transparency. They tend to work in silos where departments don't really communicate with each other properly and have the same KPIs. And there are too many tools out there to solve these problems. And we've seen this. Documents are scattered all over the place. Who has the latest Excel sheet? Who has the latest version? Oh, Anna has the latest version, but she's on vacation, so you don't know really where it is, but it's all in this platform. Everyone knows where it is at any given time. So our solution, it's a cloud-based solution. It's an all-in-one solution to manage and scale circular fashion brands. It's one platform. It's really easy to use. It is instant implementation, no implementation projects or implementation costs. So it's really affordable and scalable for small to medium-sized and even larger brands can use this platform. And we solve this thing with brands that tend to work in silos. They have their own KPIs. They look at their own documentation, everything. But in this platform, we tie them together so they look at the same KPIs, look at everything within a platform, can access all the information no matter what you're working with in the company. And our digital product passport, we have the information down to tier 4. So you have the product information, you have material information, you have the material and supplier information, the life cycle information, safety, legal, footprint, and we also added customer feedback so you can have a two-way communication with the customer. So inside the system, we have basically project management, product life cycle management, we have the DPPs, we have customer feedback, product information management to store everything in here, a retail partner portal, and also we have processes that are designed for the fashion industry. So you just jump on the train. It's really for all apparel brands, no matter industry. It's for all departments and teams, and it's for suppliers and manufacturers as well. And we're creating this partner portal so it can be for agents, distributors, retailers. You can all use this and access this information. So there are many benefits. The fashion industry will help them to move faster towards circularity. It's reduced industry waste, the supply chain transparency, and of course the DPPs. And then there are some more benefits for this as well. So we see the brands. They also have a lot of benefits. You have the streamlined operations. You work more efficient. You don't have to have the same micromanagement and project management. It's inside. It's faster time to market. You can improve product quality and, of course, have the circularity in mind when designing your products. So we're looking for the partners. When they use the partner portal, they can get easier access to the product information. So you have the latest information on products, the prices, the brand information, and real-time updates also on these products. And you can communicate back with the brands really easily instead of sending an Excel sheet. And then we have the end consumers, and it's primarily that they can use the digital product passports. So they get the entire transparency, and it's also simplified when they want to have the authentication, warranty, repairs. And with the feedback system we have inside, it's easier to connect with the brands that have made this product. And today we have made a system for all apparel brands. And soon it's going to be for the entire fashion industry. So you have bags, accessories, shoes. Later on, it's going to also be available for the entire furniture market. And really, you can use it for any product development business to keep track of your operations. So this is the only one solution for circular fashion brands. So we work with everything from strategy and planning through product development to communication and customer feedback. And it's really easy. It's just plug and play, no implementation again for the brands to start using. And what's making Portia different is really, there are a lot of tools out there, but they typically do one single thing. They have one for project management, one for product management, but we put everything in one system, and we added a few things like the customer feedback and partner portal inside of this system. So there will be some great impact also for for the use of this. You have the brands, this is how they operate, the customer will be more informed, we help transform the fashion industry, and also will have a reduction of environmental impact globally. So I think you should come if you haven't done it yet. Come and visit us at IN32. Anne and I are there tomorrow as well. And you can also scan this code and book a demo with us, and we'll show you the system. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Klaas. Amazing. Your software will help the industry to become more circular, and of course, of all the dummies who try to be more sustainable and circular, and we can work in the workflow from the future now. Yeah, thank you.